I love action films, especially ones that have an actor or actors that display some sort of skill in the art of hand-to-hand combat. Do these movies need to be Oscar-worthy? Hell no, but I feel they at least need a solid choreographer, director, and a good number of fight scenes because let's face it, that's what the audience is really there for. So, when I picked up Nightmaster, all I could think was, a young Nicole Kidman, drug rings, and ninjas. How could you go wrong? And here are a few fun facts about the film. This movie is public domain, meaning no one wanted to clean this heaping pile of shit. The original title is called Watch the Shadows Dance. The director's name is Mark Jaffe. Jaffe? Jaffe? Anyway, his most recognizable film is 1997's The Matchmaker, starring Janeane Garofalo. One of the finance and/or production companies listed for this movie is also responsible for such classics as Future Past, Rock and Roll Cowboys, and Outback Vampires. This movie has one of the best wiki pages I've ever seen. The film tells the adventures of a few guys, including Amy, played by 20-something Nicole Kidman, who enjoy organizing night tournaments, martial arts. Who wrote this? Oh, we're off to a great start, and we haven't even started the movie yet. Jesus, did I accidentally put in my copy of Guyver 2? This must be the headquarters of the League of Ghastly Evil Street Sweepers. I feel like any minute now, Batman is going to drop Jack Napier into a vat of chemicals.
Stop! The game is over.
What? So, this movie is about Australian teenagers that run around an abandoned factory and shoot each other with paintball guns dressed as ninjas. I guess I'll keep watching. Wow, that looked like an intense day at the dojo. Maybe next week the instructor might even let him stand up.
Okay. Stomach rules.
Why does their school bell sound like someone left the phone off the hook? The star of this film is Tom Jennings, playing the role of Robbie Mason. And I bet you're asking yourself, Steve, why would you need to tell me about Tom Jennings? We know who Tom Jennings is. Well, just in case you might have forgotten, which would be hard to believe, let me fill you in. He's that guy who played Slake from Mad Max Beyond the Thunderdome. He also played Tom Bennett from the famous Australian TV show, Hey Dad! We see the teacher pull aside one of Robbie's friends to confront him about the predator jizz on the side of his face. That's right, 2 predator jokes in back-to-back episodes. Nah! Turns out the green shit on the side of the kid's face is some sort of dye. Allow me to explain. The kids get together in the middle of the night to play a game where they race to the top of a factory and ring a bell. We can see in the clip at the beginning of this film that this factory is clearly not abandoned. So why the hell would anybody let these kids use it as their personal playground? Anyway, when you get caught by another player, you either get shot with a paintball or they smear dye on your face. What any of this has to do with karate is beyond me. And the Thunderdome, right? Right? Because the guy, he was... No? Okay, I'll shut up. The same teacher from before, Miss Spain, confronts the karate teacher, Steve Beck, about the students slacking in her class.
Your special activity students are falling asleep in my class.
What's that got to do with me?
She argues that this is due to his classes starting at 5 a.m. I wouldn't worry about it, lady. From what we've seen, the worst thing that could happen to these kids is one of their legs might fall asleep. This scene also suggests that there is bitterness between the two because they previously dated.
That's finished with. Over and done. We agreed, remember, to behave as 2 professionals with a serious job, nothing more.
Steve tells her that the opposite is taking effect. He believes his students are benefiting from his classes. And that's really it. She looks at a photo, she mentions something about a war that Steve Beck was in, and then it cuts to this. This guy is crazy talented. He just spins, and he spins, and he spins some more. Then we meet Duncan.
Duncan? What does he want?
Is he a student? Is he a friend? Is he an enemy? We don't know. Please. Who needs character development right now anyways, when we could be looking at more important things like this? Whee! Yay! Yay! Karate! Yay! Wait, I just realized something. Everybody that's in the karate class is also in the gym class, which is also taught by the karate instructor. So why don't they just have karate class during school? I'm sure it would be a lot more beneficial than just spinning in circles and jumping up and down on a fucking trampoline. Amy tells Robbie that she's under the impression that Miss Spain has the hots for him.
I reckon she's got the hots for you.
What? Spain?
Yeah, she wants your body.
Robbie is on his way home from a get-together with his friends when he sees someone getting harassed by a group of thugs. Yep, ladies and gentlemen, it's about that time. The time when the hero of our 80s action film stands up and shows his courage, his skill, his technique, and his execution.
That's Bill's here. What are you doing here?
What are you doing? Hanging around?
That's it? Nope. Don't try to ring that bell just yet. It just got real. Okay, just a quick recap. Robbie throws him to the ground, smashes his head into a wall, then finally kicks him 5 times in the chest. Wow, what a great job, movie. You did a fantastic job of displaying martial arts. I actually like this song. Robbie arrives to the club and... Wait, he lives there? He lives in a bar. Well, he probably doesn't live in he probably lives above the bar. Why is he living in a bar? He's a kid. Anyway, he makes his way to his bedroom so he can finally fall asleep. Fuck it. Who needs sleep when you can go get dressed up and be a paintball ninja? Actually, I think I'd have enjoyed this movie a lot better if it was called Paintball Ninja. At the same bar / Robbies House, we see his karate instructor Steve purchasing drugs from Duncan.
It's looking pretty likely.
What the fuck? Why would you deal drugs in the same building one of your students lives in? I mean, I get it. I love the music too, but you gotta pick your battles, man. Jesus, are they using real bullets now? No, but whoever's doing the Foley work for this film is really fucking lazy. Clearly opting for the recycled soundbite instead of creating something new and original. Or hell, even trying to find something that goes with the fucking clip. It's a dart. A fucking dart. He threw a dart, not a fucking laser beam. Why? Meanwhile, Robbie wins another game.
What the?
Okay, let me mention something about this game. This movie does nothing to explain any of the game rules. What you can do, what you can't. All they ever mention is that you have a time limit and then you have to reach the bell at the top of the factory. That's it. So whenever it shows them playing this game, there's never any suspense as to who's going to win because you don't know what the fuck is going on. Robbie is confronted the next day by Miss Spain, who explains that she works too hard just to sit around and let her students' grades continue to suffer.
No buts, Robbie.
Yeah, it's almost like you're so concerned about your students, you might actually call their parents and let them know what's going on.
This game of yours at night, karate classes in the morning. No wonder you're not coping.
What do you mean not coping?
Oh, that accent cracks me up. Robbie tells his friends that Miss Spain said that they must get B grades or higher or else she'll blow the whistle on them.
Anyone she sees marked or she knows plays a game against less than a B in her class, she'll blow the whistle on us.
She can't do that.
Yeah, you're right. She's just a teacher. It's not like she could do something like this. Hi, yes, I'm your child's teacher, and I just was calling to let you know that your child would rather dress up as an asshole and shoot paintballs at other students while dressed as a ninja in an abandoned factory than to get a real education. Yes? Oh no, you're totally right. I should have called you a long time ago.
I mean, perhaps we should cancel game challenges just for a while.
One of the students suggests that they stop playing the game for a while until things cool down. That and one of the other members, Brian, almost fell off a ledge and got killed.
Brian this, Brian that, he's not dead, is he? Well, is he?
No.
Wait, do you really not know if he's dead or not? He was just in the class with you. Oh no, Robbie's pissed. I've seen people lash out like this before. It turns out it's not Robbie. It's actually his coach Steve, who seems to be using performance-enhancing drugs. We then see Amy confront Miss Spain.
Why can't you just leave us alone? You're older than us. You can do whatever you want.
Amy, I'm sorry. What is it that I can do that you can't?
Go anywhere, anytime.
Like stuff and things? Duncan drops by to harass the group, especially Amy. This upsets Robbie.
I've been watching you in the gym. Nice legs. Great ass.
I'd kill him. Yeah. But that's not what karate's about, is it?
Yeah, you're right. Because it would be pretty hard to kill somebody with paintballs.
The championship Wednesday night. You ready?
Steve tells Robbie they have a tournament coming up, and that it's one of the biggest events they've ever been invited to, and plus, it's going to be televised. Trust me, I really want to be excited about this, but I feel like this is going to be yet another plot point they're going to skim over, much like the game that they play. So therefore, I will remain in my current state of not giving a shit. Robbie once again catches Steve running off with Duncan. We then see Robbie go to his house and pop in a DVD. Fucking rich kids. So he doesn't even live with his parents? All she talks about is bad weather and begins to ask typical mom questions. And we also get no further insight as to why he lives on top of a bar instead of with his parents. Robbie then falls asleep and has a dream about his coach coming over to tell him that Duncan is the new champion. Then a second later, Duncan shows up with Amy as they start reenacting his worst nightmare, which apparently is the dry hump on his bed while his coach tells him about how drugs make you feel. I know what you're thinking. This nightmare's ridiculous. But there's one thing you gotta understand. This was the 80s. So I can almost guarantee you that Charlie Sheen was having this nightmare at least every other night. Now this is getting weird. Robbie gets awoken by a knock at his door, and it's his teacher? Yep. Uh-huh. I know I should have never went to your son's house at midnight. Yes, that was very inappropriate.
Robbie, how tied up with Steve Beck are you?
He's my teacher like you.
She tells Robbie that he fought in combat, and that he has a dark past. You know, things teachers talk about with all their students. And as soon as you think this movie's about to travel down Mary-Kate Letourneau Drive, this happens.
What do you want from me, Miss Spade?
I want you to take a lot less notice of what Steve Beck fills your head with. Schoolwork comes first.
This movie's really starting to get repetitive. We've seen countless conversations between the teacher and the students talking about stay in school, stop playing with paintball guns, stop trying to be a ninja. And then you got Steve Beck, the karate instructor, who's buying drugs and then taking drugs. And then you got Duncan, the drug dealer, who keeps selling drugs to the karate instructor. And then he's also harassing the students. It's just the same beats over and over. But I think Robbie has finally had enough of Duncan's bullshit.
Piss off.
Oh shit! Are we actually going to see a fight scene where the actors display any sort of martial arts talent? No. No, we don't. Didn't I just get done watching a movie with terrible slow motion? We get it, movie! Amy catches Steve shooting up in the office, and he threatens to kill her if she says anything.
You'll never say anything about this. I'll kill you.
Fuck, again? Miss Spain tells Robbie that Steve has been taking performance-enhancing drugs. Why is she telling this to one of her students? Why hasn't she done anything about it? Why hasn't she called the cops?
Don't you see? That makes him hard. Too hard.
With the tournament just moments away, Robbie eavesdrops on Duncan and Steve. Duncan tells Steve that if he doesn't pay any more money for the performance-enhancing drugs, then he's going to expose him for what he truly is. Of course he punches him so hard that it kills him. What movie did you think you were watching? Okay, Robbie, if you can hear me, I know you just witnessed a murder, okay? You don't need to say a word to Steve. You just need to cancel the fight, call the cops, and tell them the truth, alright? I'll say it again. Cancel the fight, don't talk to Steve, call the fucking cops! Aw, shit. I should have known that he was going to do the exact opposite of the most logical solution. Let's look on the bright side. At least we finally get to see some fight scenes. Too bad all the fight scenes are cut down to a total 60-second montage.
Won their respective bouts with awesome power and truly
Being
amazing
the best, number one, isn't always the answer to everything.
Is she really having an inspirational flashback to something she said to herself? You know, I really know my shit. Robbie tells Steve that he witnessed him murder Duncan, so now it's a fight to the death. With only a few minutes into the fight, the officials call it off, because I guess someone found Duncan's corpse.
You went to school with him, didn't you? I've got a report here that says you went to school with him.
Why didn't you tell the cops that you just witnessed a murder? Oh, never mind, I almost forgot about that rule. When a man has killed another man and looks at you for more than a few seconds, you're not allowed to confess. No matter. You see, when you try to hit Robbie with a moving vehicle, he'll just gracefully glide up in the air and... Ugh. Robbie is able to escape after a motorcycle pulls up and it's driven by... the teacher? No. This could totally work. What if she's not a crazy teacher that busts into her student's apartment late at night, but instead, get this, she's a fucking Terminator. Right? No, you're right. There's no way this movie's that good.
He was trying to kill you.
No, it was a fair fight.
Yeah, you're right. That car had a lot of miles on it. Miss Spain in her red parachute pants call the cops while Robbie makes his escape. Soon after, Steve makes a surprise visit. Steve arrives at the factory where all the kids are playing the game. A few of the students who wrote the game take notice and attempt to send one of them to tell Steve what's going on, believing that he showed up to stop the game. Next, we are treated to a series of clips where Steve either beats or stabs his way through the factory looking for Robbie.
Hey, Mr. Beck.
Oh, that was nice. Awesome cameo by Australian Tom Cruise.
He's got to be after Robbie.
How would you know that just from getting stabbed? Did you download some pertinent information while he was doing that?
Face!
What? He kept her alive? Now why would he do that? The kids seem to have put together that Steve is trying to kill Robbie, and they're trying to notify the other players, but some of them only seem concerned about one thing.
Look, I'll go back in, spread the word. You guys call the cops.
No. They'll close down the game.
Why the hell did the cops bring the teacher to a potential crime scene? I swear to God, she's even calling the shots in this scene.
Someone get that ambulance over here quick.
Robbie gets cornered by Steve until... Why are they making that sound? The students gather around and gang up on Steve, but they forgot one thing. You don't fuck with Steve.
Get out, we'll be hurt. No, stop.
Helicopters start to circle the building as Steve and Robbie make their way up to the roof. Okay, movie. This is the final showdown, and you have one last chance to prove that you can make a real fight scene happen in this movie. Don't fuck it up. Why am I even surprised? Robbie escapes and makes it inside to find Amy unconscious.
You might have killed her.
This movie can't commit to shit. Ooh, another switchblade, more juggling, and even more failure. Realizing his fate, Steve lets go and falls to his death. Oh god. I'm sorry. I get really emotional when another Steve dies.
Steve! No!
Robbie swings to the ledge and lands safely. Finally, we see the kids back in school sitting in class. Then randomly, we are shown clips of Amy and Robbie in the game. Then it cuts back to them leaving the classroom. Amy goes in for a kiss, and when Robbie turns his head, you can see that she finally got him with a paintball gun. This movie sucks! And the biggest problem is that it took this movie an hour just to tell us the point of the story. Anything that remotely resembled a plot was contained in the last 25 minutes of this fucking movie. After watching the movie and picking up the movie case, I noticed something. I'm looking at two completely different films. For instance, if you look at this movie, they're trying to tell me that Nicole Kidman's the main protagonist of this film, when we know in the movie that I watched, Tom Jennings was the hero. Another thing is that on the back of this box, they're trying to say that Steve Beck was behind the game and he was using it as a front for a drug ring. Not one fucking time did they ever mention anything about a drug ring. At this point, it goes without saying that this movie's fucking terrible. But it's not one of those that's so bad that it's fun to watch. No, this movie's so terrible that it makes you want to get wasted and start angry dance fighting. Until next time, I've been Steve HS.